All right, so what's going on, Tallulah? What's going on? Something quick you guys can watch as you're getting ready for work. Start off your week. I wanted to do a video on this guy by the name of Lord Tear God. I've seen his videos for like the past 2 years or whatever. Not my real cup of tea. But he went on Destiny's panel. And I don't want to do Lord Tear God because he said so many incredibly wrong things. It's such a pompous nature. I didn't want to do something like that before work. So I may do that later today, or I may do that one tomorrow. But I figure before work, I'm watching. I'm making my coffee and getting ready this morning, and I'm just listening to Annalicia on Destiny. And to sum it up, just in my opinion, this is what happens when you just refuse to admit fault. And if you have a bigger viewpoint, all you have to do to get past the situation is just admit the fault and go back to the original viewpoint that you had before this. Because this was something she was trying to use to support what she was saying. Mimsy, I'm gonna say who cares is people. Like, I just try to use this to show teachable moments to people when they are having discussions or they are having a debate. Now, how crazy is my title from reality? She did not say like all Mexicans are white. I'm just gonna let you hear for yourself. So sort of my title is sensationalism, but it's more reality than sensationalism than someone were to put that for their title for anything else, or maybe any other person. This is bananas. Let me get past this little intro. Okay.
Is that
I guess I just don't understand like what like prescription from like scripture or like gospel or something within these churches or whatever that's going to be like so important that would help overcome these like generational wealth gaps and like poverty that like why hasn't it happened already?
It's adhering to lifestyle, okay? It's adhering to what you value, and I'm just saying is if you want to escape abject poverty as a like for your journey for your children, you're gonna need to appreciate the family values a lot more, and that's adhering to what Alicia was saying of like Black men need to stop leaving their women. We need to stop having single mothers, because this is just perpetuating poverty.
Wait a minute. That's a myth. All of that's a myth.
You brought up
What
single mothers.
mean?
Now you're completely
that's a stereotype. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Mothers have no responsibility. It's all on the fathers.
This is not the dunk that she thinks it is. It's because she thinks that because Americans aren't married. Hey, can I finish? Hey, can I finish? Because you asked me.
That is already proven.
This is a Mexican American who is saying basically that it is a myth that all these Black men are leaving Black women. And Alicia is a biracial Canadian, half Black, half white, I think, a biracial Canadian who has a hard-on for Black American culture and putting down Black men at any chance that she can get.
Make it funny.
You said that because Black Americans aren't married, that means that they're necessarily absent from their children's lives. And I was telling you that that's not the case.
That's not what I said.
Okay, what did you say then?
I said that absenteeism is at the top of the list in terms of what's negatively contributing to the community, the culture, family value.
I'll tell you something that I don't know that I would like to know. I would like to know how they are doing these studies and what question are they asking in this study. Are they just asking, are you married or single? Are they asking, Black Americans how they feel about the community, or how many people are single? Does having a boyfriend that you have a baby with matter? That you guys are living together, or are they asking how much is the father contributing? Like, I would like to know some details about the studies that they get these papers from.
Values and the nuclear family. That's what I said.
Ooh.
But you were overstating the extent to which absenteeism is even a disproportionate
I wasn't
issue within the
overstating
Black
it.
community.
If anything, you were understating it, because Lav came up.
No, I just
really had the
plainly
receipts,
stated
and she
it
said,
as
"Hey,
it is.
once a month, that's a really low bar." So if we know that the bar is low, I don't even understand why you're arguing with her and you're saying, "Hey, I don't understand what the issue is." But then on the other hand, you're saying I'm overstating absenteeism.
Oof.
Like what?
You were, because in the previous discussion that we had, you said it's the #1 problem facing Black Americans today is like an absence of Black fathers in their lives, and like
the whole time.
Yeah, I know. I disagree with it because it's not even true.
Oh.
Why is it not true? Why is it not true? Straight as what's your name? Straight.
My ad is straight right.
Yeah. Right. So it's a myth.
It's
so
not
prove
true,
that it's a myth, please.
Prove that the onus should be on you to prove that it's the problem, first of all, since you're the one making the affirmative claim. But if I'm going to
no. You said that it was a stereotype, right? You said that absenteeism in the Black community, father engagement, father involvement, paternal involvement. You said all of these things are a myth. All of these, it's just a trope, a stereotype. You have to prove that.
Well, first of all, again, you were the one who made the claim that it's the #1 problem facing Black Americans. So one, you should have been the one to prove that, and now you're putting the onus on me to disprove something you haven't even proved in the first place.
We did prove it. 70%. And then when you said, "Oh, but they're the most engaged and they're the most active fathers," and then when we streamlined that and when we really looked into what that meant,
70% are
unmarried. Hold on.
This is going to come up in this video on the second half when they talk about, and which was surprising to me coming off my last video with Destiny, because Destiny was very naive of what was going on in the Black American community as far as welfare goes. But on this one, he's going to be the complete opposite, and he's going to be telling his guests, like, there's a difference than when you are a Black person in the information that you know that grew up or in an area that have way more extensive knowledge, which is good on Destiny because that's true. But like when I grew up in the 90s, it was very common that we had no relationship with our father. A lot of us didn't know who our father was and never had a single conversation with our fathers. Imagine a group of kids all playing kickball, and like 95% of them don't know who their father is. I remember this little kid named Tyson. He couldn't play any sports really good, but he had more money than us in the hood because he had a father that was around. It wasn't with his mother, but his father would come get him. His father was in his life. That was extremely rare. So like the way we get quiet on the field when Tyson's father would come around, it was just so rare. That is way different now. Way different now. It's not that big that like someone like just absolutely has no idea who their father is. They're not in their life. A lot of Black fathers are in their children's lives now. It's even being promoted different now. You can see rappers holding up having their kids, and their kids' videos of fighting for custody of their children. So this is what I'm saying. Some of this stuff is perpetuated into the myth. Also, if you do studies and you do have disgruntled mothers who don't like their quote unquote baby daddy or whatever, would just sign on and say they're not in their kid's life. Or you may have a situation to where some women don't even let the father in their kids' life. So it is a more of a myth now that Black men are just getting someone pregnant and running away from their responsibility or the love of their child. It is way different than how I grew up. And that's what I'm saying. Like when people make the same argument over time, but there are positive changes, it just seems disingenuous to me. But there's a lot of Black fathers, like even when I just close my eyes and just think about, like, not even, I wouldn't say like my close Black friends now, because you know what I'm saying, we're not in poverty. But when I even go back or think about the people who are in poverty that I can know from tangible shit in my real life, like everybody is around their children, everybody taking care of their children unless they're being forced to not to. I also tell you something that's different about that back then. You could probably sit around other men in the 90s and you be okay because none of y'all taking care of your kids. If it's a bunch of Black dudes together now and any kind of argument or something come up, there you're gonna get shamed. Like, you don't take care of your children. Black, like, that matters in a community, because what tends to be a popular opinion is what people strive towards, even though that's a bad reason to do something. But I'm saying you'll get shamed if you aren't taking care of your children now, where it wasn't even like that when I was growing up. But like me, I wouldn't let nobody be around me like that. You know, you're not in your children's life, and your children want, you know, the mother of your children is saying, okay, there's no conflict, there's no issue. You're just not doing it just so you won't have your responsibility. That's even different now. But those are like the nuances that you wouldn't see, and what Anna doesn't see when she goes and make this argument about race that's about to come up here.
When we looked into what that meant, what did she say? She said that these fathers are seeing their kids on average, how many times a month? Once a month, right? On average?
Did you even my
that? Because Lab makes that claim that it's true.
What data was she even citing?
Listen to their conversation. I want you to start thinking about some of these surveys, right? You think that, like, what that's what I'm saying, what question they're asking. You think that you walked up to 70% of Black American men in the United States, and 70% of them answered the survey and said, I see my child once a month. That, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying don't go against surveys or go against numbers. I'm just saying I just take that shit, like, I don't take it at face value that it's the end all be all. You think 70% of Black American men are just, nah, bro. Nah, I don't see my kid. Fuck out of here, bro. Do lame shit like that. Come on, man.
Extremely low bar. My position is you can't quantify how that is positively contributing to the Black. Like, you can't qualify.
So you can't quantify it, but you know that is self-reporting.
Didn't the guy in the suit yesterday, didn't he say that self-reports are not, what did he say about self-reports again?
He didn't like them very much.
Or did he say that they're reliable? So if you're not reliable when it comes to,
oh, sorry, I forgot. Just because he says that you can't rely on self-supporting data, I guess that we can.
No, because like, you're a hypocrite.
What's going on, Paulo?
I'm telling you that self-reports, if you're predicating your argument on self-reports, you don't see the problem with that.
I hope you guys can see that Anna's the one that's talking extremely fast and angry. Yeah.
That objectively?
There's ways to do self-report data that is valid. So, for example, if you're able to like randomize it, like the participants.
It wasn't randomized. Did whoever's talking? Did you look at the study?
Well, no, I haven't.
Okay, then I'm not having this conversation with you.
Okay, Anna, if you're gonna say self-reports don't count, I'm giving you an example.
Average, these fathers, these fathers are seeing their children once a month. Like, are you guys?
It just seems so cold and disingenuous when someone's not from a community. And like, so, and I'm talking optics. Like, I'm not in Irish. I'm not in Ireland, and so there are ghettos in Ireland. And then I want to talk about the human beings and the suffering and the things that they're going to in Ireland. And I don't go to these people. I stay away from them, and I pull out some fucking data sheets. And I only go off this data sheet where I just, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to go over there. I don't want to see the nuances. I don't want to really get to know this community. Hey, give me these numbers right here. All right. Numbers say 70% of men, 70% of the Irish aren't taking care of their children. So this is where we're going to begin right here in this little cold room far away from fucking Ireland. And we're going to go off these numbers and come up with a plan. Yeah, let's assume that that's true. Let's assume that that 70% is true, right? How do you come up with a plan? You don't know these people. You don't know their brain or what would be have a better opportunity of working, whether it's not. You didn't do shit. You stayed your ass in fucking Canada. You stay your ass in Canada and get a Canadian degree. And because you don't want to deal with the fact that you are not here, you don't know how it is to be in America. You want to make the argument that what happens in America is no different than what's happening across the world, which I'll go against as well too. It just seems cold to me. You know, I don't live in America. I've never lived in America. I'm going to come on here every day and put down Black American men, and I'm going to look at these study sheets that they've given us in Canada.
Guys, serious?
What's can you cite me? Can you send or like cite the study?
No, you can do your own homework. I'm not going to do your homework for you. You think that it's a stereotype and a myth. Go ahead and prove it.
Goodness me.
You sound delusional.
You just made the claim that Black fathers
like the white woman, you're delusional.
Once a month.
Delusional.
If you're making the claim that Black fathers are only seeing their children once a month, I'm asking you what the study made the claim. Okay, what's the study then?
Google it. Look it up. I'm not your mother. Do your homework. You're the one who thinks it's a stereotype, right?
Everybody knows if you say something, you can't tell the other person to Google it. It is you have the burden of proof. If you say that there's a study that say this, you should show it.
What?
You think it's a stereotype based on what?
You guys are
I know,
referencing
right?
a study that hasn't even
What's
been
up, Barbara?
sent yet. Send the fucking studies so that we can know what you're referencing.
Oh my God, why do y'all not gonna read it?
Pixie,
I know
we
y'all
have to do our own
not gonna read
homework.
it. What's the point? What's the point?
Yes, do your own homework.
What's the point?
Do your own homework. Absolutely. Do it yourself.
That's true. I'm on Annalicia's side. I do. If you want.
Guys, I think the sky is like purple with aliens in it. What?
Facts.
Okay, whoa!
That's why I changed my opinion when I said I would love to debate Anna. And one of the reasons I wanted to is because she made these claims that every black American man that has a debate with her will go personal, will bring up her life and all this other shit that I don't do. I would stick directly to the facts. But even when I seen Black men be nice to her, she was extremely mean or dismissive of them being nice to her. But I wouldn't do it now, especially after this conversation, because I want you guys to just listen to how hard someone will just not admit that they're wrong, because she's gonna say that this lady is white, and through all of this, she's never gonna say that this lady is not white.
Let's everybody. Let's all bring it in. Okay, everybody, calm down. Okay.
Hold on, Steven. Wait, let me ask you a question. So I come into the room and she's talking about, well, I don't understand. Aren't Black people the most engaged in the church? That was also my point. So I like the way that you kind of like, I like what you did. But why is she also arguing that, okay, so they have all of these sort of social structures, right? They have these apparatus. They have the church. They have, they have family. But again, she's also arguing that, oh, then I don't understand why is the Black community in the state that it's in? But then she's also saying that absenteeism is a stereotype and a myth. Do you understand how?
To be clear,
when I asked you for the study, you said, "Oh, go find it yourself."
Yeah,
how about I tell you that I have 2 studies that say the opposite, and I tell you to go Google it?
You think I'm going to do anything that you asked me to do? I already know.
Oh my God!
I already know. I've already read the studies.
Yo.
I don't care what you have to.
Yo, Anna, if you see this, what is your point? Like, if I'm gonna be this polarizing and just this antagonistic, you say that you don't have the burden to show evidence of what you say, and if someone says something and they ask you to do the same, you think I'm gonna fucking believe? Like, if most people I know who act like you, they do it because they're trying to build something or build a channel. But when I look, there's no YouTube channel on here. You know, the only thing I see is like a private Instagram. Like, there's no, like, you're not even building any. Like, I think that she is criminally argumentative. It's not even about the passion for the subject. It's most about I have this idea because some black men have a YouTube channel putting down women. I just hate all black men, black with an emphasis on black American men. And anything you say, because I have this idea, I'm just going to say anything to debate against it.
Then I'd be super.
You're delusional.
Then, so why don't you just?
You are delusional. I'm not going to have this argument with a white lady talking about absenteeism.
I'm not white.
Is a myth and a stereotype. You're delusional.
I'm not white.
She's not white.
What are you?
I'm Hispanic.
What is that? That's not a race. What is that?
I'm Mexican. Oh God.
What is that?
I'm Mexican American. If you think that people treat me like that I'm white, then you're wrong.
Mexican.
Huh?
What race is Mexican?
I said I'm Mexican. That's an ethnicity. But I'm saying I'm not white.
How are you not white? Is my point.
Do you honestly think that
if she's
Hispanic
Mexican,
people navigate the world like white people?
Well,
I'm sorry. Are Mexicans? Are you guys out of your minds? Are they black?
No, but they're not.
I never said that they're black. I'm saying that they're not white. We're not white.
Right.
And I'm sorry if I'm not enthused. It's not even because it's in the morning. It's just that this shit is so. Like we already know, you know what I'm saying, that Anna is like criminally like argumentative and shit, but like typically she has a foundation to where she can go to, right? Maybe fucked up, you may be disagree, but like this right here, you just outed yourself because you made the blind assumption from her voice that she was a white lady. You found out she's a Hispanic Mexican, and you don't want to let that go. I would have easily just said my bad and let it go, and we can go on to something else. But like, watch how pathetic this gets. This is like, it's hard to get excited about this. For once, look at the new argument she just presented herself. She just said that doesn't mean she's black. There was nothing on this panel where anyone insinuated that she was black. The only insinuation came from you insinuating she's white. And when you find out she's not white, now you're trying to bring up a new argument to have something to debate from. So you want to stick an entire panel to a fallacy by introducing she's not black. So they can come and argue from something that they never agreed with in the first place. That's the fallacy part. To stick somebody to an argument that they never agreed with and try to debate them from that false place. Just because you don't want to admit that she's not white.
Right. Okay. And so
no. Can you agree she's not white, Annalicia?
Annalicia,
don't skip over your stupidity. She's not white. Admit
Facts
it.
are, John.
And quit bringing
I
up
hope I
race
pronounced
as an
your name
excuse
right.
to engage my point.
First of all, who's talking about stupidity? Shut the hell up. No one's even having this conversation with you.
You clearly are, because I'm in the fucking room. You are now.
Don't be here trying to tell me that Mexican.
You are directly talking to me.
You guys are pop. You guys are freaking delusional. That's why you can't have conversations with friggin'
You guys are pop. How the fuck do you trigger yourself? How do you trigger yourself, man? Pop
with white ladies.
Angry black woman stereotype.
Hold on.
You're a delusional Karen.
Wait, why did she leave? Wait, no, that lady wasn't
Karen.
white either. Okay, hold on. You're seeing white people everywhere, and there are not as many in here.
Facts.
I think I'm like me and Pixie are the only white people.
Right, because Mexican is black.
No one said Mexican is black, but you hold on. Wait.
You lose. I mean, you never had much credibility to begin with, but like it is in your brain, you think that you're just such intelligent person that can debate. You're good at making people who don't know how to debate. Like when you get a guy on the panel who really doesn't know what he's talking about, he just doesn't like what you're saying, but he didn't know how to defend himself. You can come across somewhat decent, but anytime you get into a conversation with someone of just average intelligence, you make yourself look bad. But this is really bad to just blindly throw out there, she's not black, when no one ever said it. If I were on that panel, I will hold you to it. You're going to have to go back and find a timestamp when someone insinuated no one talked about her race, which is crazy because you said that black men come on panels and they try to attack you personally instead of attacking your points. So you tried to attack her personally by making the false insinuation that she's white to show that if she's white, then she wouldn't know what she's talking about. but you love digging in Black American viewpoints, and you're not a Black American. You're Canadian. It's fucking crazy, man.
Wait, nobody said that Mexican was Black, but you called her white. She's not white.
So what? I'm sorry. Like, what is Mexican?
I'm just saying she's not white.
What is Mexican?
Mexican is okay. Stop. Let me answer. Mexican is a nationality in the United States.
That's right. That is right. That is right.
Yeah.
And in nationalities, you could be Black, you could be white, you could be biracial. Okay, so which one is she?
Okay.
I don't like to walk down people's, like, you know, when I know they're wrong. But even if I walk down what Anna is trying to say, she's still wrong. She's trying to say, like, you know, like, because Mexican is a country, you got some dark Mexicans, some light Mexicans. I'm trying to go as light as possible. Canelo Alvarez is Mexican. No one, and that's an extreme light Mexican. No one calls Canelo Alvarez white. What are you talking about? So you can go as dark as me being a Mexican, or as light as Canelo Alvarez. They're Mexicans. Again, I would never go down her rabbit hole, but even if you do, that's how dumb this is. Even if you do decide to go down her dumb rabbit hole, she's still wrong.
Okay, let's apply a little bit of common sense here. If somebody says they're Mexican, what do you think they look like? If you had to guess.
I would think that they look European.
What's up, Sister George?
What does European mean to you? Does that include like
European? Looks white to me.
Okay. Have you ever been to Mexico or seen a single person in your life that describes themselves as Mexican?
Yes, Lupita is Mexican, which is the actress that played in the movie Us and the Black Panther. So you can go as dark as Lupita. Even though I could be wrong, I think she's Nigerian Mexican, but she's born in Mexico. You can go you can go to the extreme of dark to the extreme of light. They're still Mexicans. They're Mexicans. They're not white.
Yeah.
And they're all white?
I absolutely have.
Is that how white Canada is? Or
yeah, Kenya, my bad.
They're
Kenya.
not Black.
No,
there's no confusing that.
Who are you talking to here?
Whoever's talking to me, I'm talking to you, Stephen.
Okay, hold on. Well, you're not talking to me because I never said that Mexicans were Black. I don't think anybody in here said Mexicans were Black. So I don't know why you've said 4 times now Mexican isn't Black.
Thank you.
You're trying to argue.
Thank you for holding her to that. Sometimes when people are wrong, they want to breeze past something. Nope, we're going to rewind this shit back and make it crystal clear.
That they're what? I mean, what
let me catch you up. Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm catching up to your own statements. You said, are you white or aren't you white? Or you called her white. She's not white. She's from Mexico. Right. She's Hispanic.
Right. And that's a nationality. I'm not asking about your nationality. I'm asking about your race.
Okay. I don't know if it's some blend of mestizo or castizo or how the fucking Mexican I don't know if she's done a fucking 23andMe on it, but she's not white. Right?
Okay. So you don't know then. She doesn't know that.
I do know. I know what she looks like. And I know she's not white. I can look at her. She's not white.
Okay.
What? Oh my God. And we're not talking about us viewers or the people on the panel. We're talking about inside of Anna's own brain. In her own brain, in her own world, she thinks that she's this incredibly intelligent people. But let's say 2 things here. First, when one of the first few times she came on Destiny panel, and Destiny was with some other, I think he was with ABBA. If I'm not, could have been another dude, but both of them were talking like normal people, but she was all on Destiny's nuts saying how articulate he was when they both were just as equally articulate, but she didn't want to say that about the Black guy. But what she said in that statement was that, I love the way you talk, Destiny, because I get so flustered and start tripping over my own words, stuttering and stuff. So you're saying whenever you're in an intellectual conversation, you don't even know how to get your words out, which she's going to literally gargle on this one right here. The panel's going to laugh. So you don't know how to articulate yourself when you feel strongly about a topic, right? Then you get angry and turn to a child when you get upset, whatever. How are you going to say whatever if you say someone's white and you find out they're not white? Why would that make, if I assumed that this woman was white and Destiny was like, nah, she's Mexican, my bad. It'd have been over in a nanosecond, so we can get to more pressing issues. Because your end point wasn't to say that she was white. You were trying to say that she was white to prove, you was using that as a supporting statement to show something else. So that wouldn't have lost your argument. You just would have lost that one supporting statement. But if you really felt strongly about the argument you were trying to make, you just say, okay, my bad, you Mexican, I got it wrong. Go to another supporting statement. That's all you had to do. So you get flustered, you don't know how to say how you feel when you're passionate about something, and you turn to a child, you don't want to admit that you're wrong. You're just removing all of these things that people who normally watch others debate, have discussions, we find them credible, we find them intelligent. You're removing these things yourself. So what do you have left, if I would ask you, that makes you feel like you're intelligent? I don't understand. Like, only in your brain. I'm not talking, we already don't see you that way, but in your Annalicia world, what makes you credible and intelligent?
So unless
I'm pretty sure I've seen her. I'm pretty sure I've seen her too.
All right, gotcha, Diamond.
I'm pretty sure I've seen her too. I'm pretty
I
sure
didn't realize that you're the expert on what my like ethnicity and race is. Oh, okay, cool.
Wait, hold on. We've made a justification. I just want to see. Hold on. I'm super curious now. I'm sending you a YouTube video. Would you describe this person as white?
I was gonna say yes.
Like the same skin tone.
Okay, here you go. Tell me if this person is white to you. I'm curious if you would say this person is white.
Skin check me.
You gotta learn to pick your debates, man. And you know, I hate the whole concept like I'm just gonna go against the grain for the sake of going against the grain. I'll go against the grain if I find enough evidence and statements that, well, the popular thing that people are going against, if I find contrasting stuff that I find credible, that is only when I will go against the grain. But there tends to be, in not all times, you don't want to be a sheep, but be honest, a lot of times when a lot of people are thinking something, it's coming from a credible place. So there's not going to be like 90% of things that you're just going to go against the grain from, you know, with. When you do anything just for the sake of doing it, you're only setting yourself up for failure.
Are you putting it on the screen? Where am I looking?
Sure, I sent you.
Yeah, that's
link.
what I'm saying.
My video.
We're saying the same thing, Arjan.
Can you put it like so I can just see it like on
It's on
the
my
screen now?
Oh, sure. It's on my stream. Yeah, there she is.
On your stream, I can't.
It's
I can only
it's
see.
catching up. It's catching up.
I want to say two things here. Number one, we don't want to fall down a trap. She said that this woman was white and she had never seen her face. She just 100% called her white because she heard her voice. And she wanted her to, it would be easier if she's white so she can be a hypocrite. She can prove that, oh, you're white, you don't know what you're talking about. But at the same time, she's Canadian American and loves talking shit about American issues, so it don't apply to her. So move that over here. She never saw this person. If I look at this person right here on the screen, and I'm being completely honest, if I'm just walking like that person in the background, I'm walking past, I look over there, I can see how somebody would say that person is white. But also, the way that person looks, someone says, nah, bro, shit, that's Mexican. Oh, yep, definitely see it. That's how that person looks to me. But he's gonna pause it like, but they're gonna look more like a Hispanic person. But I don't like people to fall down traps, so I want to let people be crystal clear to not fall down any trap. She never saw this person's fucking face. She just the only person, if you look to the right, bottom right, the only person showing their face is Destiny. Everyone else has their camera off. All the other four guests has their camera off, to include Anna.
Did you see it yet? Are you okay? How far behind is the stream for you?
All I see is the people who are in this call.
Oh, I can't show it in here. You have to either look at my stream or you've got to look at the link that I sent you. Are you doing that, or is this?
Look like a little Hispanic girl right there, to me.
What's she doing? I think she...
Yeah, no, I saw.
But she's Canadian. She's
Sorry,
never
I can
seen
see
her. Why
it.
the hell is she even talking? Because she's Anna.
Okay.
Dirt. That's
Is this a
what
white person to you?
Anna go Anna.
I mean, you guys look like you could be cousins. I don't know.
Okay, Annalicia, I
God.
hate to inform you of this, but you are also a white person then. Do you understand that?
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, all
let's
right.
go.
We're
with
all
that.
white. I'm glad. We're all white in here then. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
we
great.
can go
I'm
with
glad
that.
we're on the same page, except for maybe
Wait, listen,
Fenty.
if absenteeism is a stereotype and a myth,
Uh-huh.
listen, I'll live in your delusion. We could do that
No,
all
no.
day. That's fine.
The reason why you even brought up my race is because why exactly? I don't understand how that's even relevant to any of my arguments. Why did you bring up my race in the first place, Annalicia?
I guess it's relevant because you being white, having absolutely no experience, no true
I'm not
insight
white.
in the field, probably has to do with it. Yeah, probably.
She only brings up stuff when she feels it suits her. At least, like, it would make me cringe if I'm a hypocrite. Like, it would, like, I don't want like special pleading or some shit. Like, she don't want you to say that you are not a Black American, so you don't know what's going on in Black America. But she wants to tell someone you're white. So since you're white, every study you can think of that helps or is a positive statement about Black Americans, we're gonna throw out your positive stuff because you're white. So whatever you say is wrong. But I'm a biracial Canadian who don't know shit about the hood in America. I can be right. That would make me cringe.
We just established she wasn't white.
No, you guys established that.
And that's right. Like what Arjan said. And am I saying it right? Is it Arjan or Arhan? That's what I'm saying. Like, why would I ever debate her now? Like, I changed my mind. Like, why would I go into a situation knowing that a person would rather admit that they're white, knowing that they're not white, than to be wrong? What are you, Hispanic? That's not a race. Mexican? That's not a race. Let's show the whole fucking video up here on the screen. This is fucking bananas, man. What's inside of your head, Anna, is bananas. The only way I would give you props would be if you had a YouTube channel that's just growing in subscribers off of this, because at least I can understand it. I wouldn't agree with it, but I'm like, oh, you're trying to build your channel up. You don't even have a channel to try to build. You're not doing anything at all. You know what I'm saying? So I can't even give you that. So I'm like, why would someone put themselves out here like this? I don't understand it.
Yeah, you can look at a mirror and then look at her. Like, you guys are
like I come in here and she's having a conversation with Fenty talking about, oh, well, Black people are the most involved in the church. So what's the problem? I don't understand why I did it. But then last week she's talking about, oh, no, absenteeism isn't really the problem that you guys think it is.
If I were a little bit darker and I said the same thing, what would you say then? How about
I'm not speaking to you.
You're in a Discord room with everybody. Of course you're speaking to all of us. What do you mean?
Yep, she's doing this for fucking free. She has a private Instagram. She has a YouTube channel that has 1,000 subscribers that she hasn't put up a video on in a long time. You think with her coming on Destiny and she wants people to believe in this hate Black American men theme, you think she would promote her YouTube channel on Destiny? People see her polarizing statements and how incredibly wrong she is. They're going to rush to subscribe to her channel. And then she can talk about her statements and she can mute people and do whatever she wants to. But she hasn't done that. You know, she hasn't put up a video in a long time. And that was way before anybody found her from the Destiny and from the Saint and Sinner. So she's just doing this for free.
Let me see if I can get this.
What do you mean?
Let me relay this. Okay, so because you don't have the life experience of being a Black person, you're not gonna understand what Annalicia is saying.
Okay,
so
no offense. Hold on. Okay. no offense, but Fenty or Anna, neither of you can really speak to the Black African American experience in the United States. But both of you.
I just told you why, and you said, "Oh yeah, I agree with you that it's an international thing." We know what.
Wait,
know what
hold on. For the sake of that, no. For the sake of that conversation and talking about like global Blackness, there is an international conversation to be had there. But the plight of the African American in the United States is not an international phenomenon. That is very unique to the United States. It's not just.
Oh, I'm sorry. Unique in terms of what?
Unique in terms of if you have no experience being in the United States, it's going to be hard.
What is unique about the African American experience compared to that of the Caribbean and other northern countries?
That's what I'm saying. You wouldn't know just because you have.
No. He knows.
And a lot of the Caribbeans, and we talk about skin. Blacks are a majority. There are also specific laws that's different in the United States. And it's kind of naive to just say that something wouldn't be specific to another region. For example, there's things that I would not know about how it is to be in Detroit, and I'm in Georgia. So we're in the same country, and there's still stuff specific to that region. I remember my viewpoint on people crossing the border. And I remember talking to everybody around the country on the border and just seeing everybody's viewpoint. And then I remember hearing from people who live by the border and shit. I was blown away. I had no idea what was going on. I remember seeing the horrified looks and shit on their face. Like it was different seeing the people who are directly affected by the crimes and things that went on there. I'm not from there. It would be crazy for me to not listen to the people in those cities that surround the border and the things that happen. I would never be that arrogant to just say that when I'm sitting in my cozy home in Atlanta, Georgia, talking to my friend in New York, who talking to my friend in Oregon, all of us got these opinions about what's going on. Then you talk to people who's actually there. That's crazy. But also, I think I just caught Anna in a lie. I want to go back to confirm first.
That is very unique to the United States. It's not just.
Oh, I'm sorry. Unique in terms of what?
Unique. But both of you.
I just told you why, and you said, "Oh yeah, I agree with you that it's an international thing." We know what.
Wait, hold on. For the sake of that, no. For the sake of that conversation and talking about like global Blackness, there is an international conversation to be had there. But the plight of the African American in the United States is not an international phenomenon. That is very unique to the United States. It's not just.
Oh, I'm sorry. Unique in terms of what?
Unique in terms of if you have no experience.
Would you guys listen and agree with this right here? Because I know that's something Anna's going to say in the future. Would you agree that right now, Anna is saying that it is not unique to the Black American experience? There's nothing unique about it. She's saying it's nothing unique about it all. It's the same as what's going on across the world. Destiny is saying that there are unique things to the Black American experience as opposed to, I don't know, Black French or whatever, right? Okay, because later she's going to switch her argument to say that things aren't exclusive to Black Americans. She's going to say that I agree that they're unique things, but it's not just exclusive. She wants to use the word exclusive to relieve herself of any responsibility from what she's saying right here.
Being in the United States, it's going to be hard.
What is unique about the African American experience compared to that of the Caribbean and other northern countries?
That's what I'm saying. You wouldn't know.
This is how she plays with words. If you ask me what's unique, you're saying that nothing is unique about it. Why would you ask me that? If you understand that there are things that are unique to the Black American experience, you wouldn't ask me that. So your position is that there's nothing unique about it. So you don't get to come back later and change it and say, oh, I do think that there's some things that are unique. I'm just saying it's not exclusive. This is what you do, Anna.
Oh, just me because you have.
No, he knows.
Actually,
He can ask. Let him.
What do they have in common?
I think he doesn't. I think he doesn't.
Qualified.
I think because he's.
I think for most people, if you've never experienced racism, you've never had somebody call you a nigga, they would say that you don't really know
That's
the Black
delusional.
experience.
That's absurd. I know people who are Black and
no, don't tell me what's
have
absurd.
never been called nigga. So we're not going to qualify niggadom or being Black, whether because you've been called nigga. That's ridiculous.
It's something that you clearly can't understand. You don't know what that experience
I'm waiting for Stephen to answer my question. What?
Oh, you want the white?
That whole tirade, like when I listen, what she's doing is trying to hold the Mexican woman. I apologize if you watch this. I don't know her name. If somebody put her name in the chat, I'll call her name. Or can I see it on the screen when she talks? No, I can't see it on the screen. But she's trying to make it like the Mexican girl who just said that is saying that if you like this is exclusive, this is the only thing that makes Americans different. She's starting to name some things because Anna asked her to name some things, but Anna is yelling and arguing with her as if the girl is saying that this is the one and only thing that makes it different. She's just naming some things because you asked her to.
Guy to answer you, right? That's what
yeah.
you want. Yeah, go ahead.
And I'll even disagree with the Mexican woman on this point because that there are people who get called the N-word in other countries. I'll disagree with her one point, but Anna is wrong to try to make it look like this one thing she's saying is saying that that's the only thing that makes American different. You go to those soccer games in Europe and they're making the monkey noises every time a Black guy kicks the ball. And saying the N-word. So it does happen in other countries. So I'll even disagree with the Mexican on this point, but like she's just trying to name, she's trying to name things. She wasn't saying that's the only thing.
You talk to Destiny.
What's unique about it?
Harry's fun.
Yeah, white boy, you.
Anna is biracial. You have a biracial, half Black, half white woman, half Black, half white Canadian arguing with a Mexican American.
Tell us.
Right?
I don't have to talk.
What's unique about it?
Stephen, please tell us.
The history of the
most Black people, like even in a super racist South where I live in Georgia, it's easy to go through your life without being called the N-word because a lot of people who want to call you that fear you'll knock them the fuck out. But just because they don't call you that doesn't mean that they don't think that you have not experienced racism. You know, most of 99% of the people I know have never been called directly the N-word because of, you know, a lot of those people are cowards that want to call you the N-word.
Descendants of Black slaves in the United States, okay, and the entire culture
Straighter edge.
that they were brought up in.
I don't want to call her the Mexican woman. That sounds crazy. So I got her name. Straighter Edge is the Mexican woman. So I'm going to call her Straighter Edge from now on.
And created, and the relationship they have to the United States and the rest of the world is unique to the African American in the United States versus Black people around the world at large.
Right. And how do you know that? How do you know that? Have you been to the Caribbean? Like, how is it because you? Like, how do you? I'm curious to know how you.
Okay.
Would know
First of all, hold on. Which Caribbean countries have you been to?
Trinidad.
Okay. So I've been to, I think in Mexico, parts of it count as the Caribbean, right? Like, does Cancun count?
No, it does not.
Does not. Okay. What about
Cancun's Mexico.
What's the little island? What about Aruba? Does that count?
No, I typically stream in the afternoon. I'm probably going to stream in the afternoon about Lord Tiergard here because he had a very polarizing when he was on Destiny's panel. That shit was like bananas. That's going to be crazier than this. But what's happening recently is that when I'm getting ready early in the morning, I'm listening to Destiny's stream, and then I hear something crazy, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pop this off before I get ready to leave the house for the day. So I'm going to pop off this little Anna one because this wasn't that long. But I'll come back later in this afternoon and do a more thorough one.
Count to you?
As the Caribbean?
Yeah.
I was born and raised in
So
Puerto
do you think
Rico.
that, wait, did you, wait, stop. Did you say no?
I did.
Okay, what counts as the Caribbean to you?
Oh, okay. Well, this is your.
No, hold on. You're arguing.
No,
Stop. You're arguing for the sake of argument. Okay.
Only problem I have with you saying that when I first heard you say that, Destiny, when you said you're arguing for the sake of arguing, you bought like 10 streams too late, brother. When does she not argue for the sake of argument? You said it like it's a big shocking feat that she does that.
Chill.
Yeah,
okay?
Aruba is absolutely a Caribbean
Of
island.
course it
Okay,
is.
it's a Caribbean
What's up,
island.
Eddie?
Fine. So you went there. What did
Thanks
you
for
see?
stopping by, my boy.
Actually,
Hold on,
technically,
hold on,
Mexico
wait.
is part of it too.
Hold on. I just want to.
You brought it up.
Okay,
You
I
said
will bring it up. Let me
Aruba.
argue. Shut the fuck up for a second. Jesus fucking Christ, okay? I'll argue this if you want. But before we go down this road, I want you to make the profoundly stupid statement that you think that the African-American experience in the United States, that's not a unique Black experience. It's more or less similar across the entire world. First, I want you to make that positive statement, and then I'll fight against it. But I need to hear you say it first, so I don't list a whole bunch of shit for why you're obviously wrong. And you go, oh, well, I never said that, Stephen. So I want to hear you say that first. You think...
I've been saying this for years, like, slow that shit down, and because people gonna try to ride over some dumb shit that says slow it down, don't let them keep bringing up, and they'll ask you this, so they'll attack the new thing you say and ask you that, attack the new thing you say, and you get so far off subject. Nah, bruh, I want to hold you accountable. This is fucking excellent what Destiny is doing right now. I do this shit all the time though. Like, I'm not gonna let you just ride off and question me to death to get off the dumb shit you said.
That the African-American, the Black African-American experience in the United States, that's like a pretty universal Black experience around the world. Do you believe that?
Yeah.
No, I want to hear Annalicia. Did you say yes?
Sorry. I believe that the Black diaspora, yes, is absolutely shares universality. Sorry.
That wasn't the
Yes.
question.
That wasn't my question at all. Who's...
Right, but that's my response.
Say it again.
That's-
then
That's the thing about Americans. Americans really like to hyper-focus.
I'm not scared to stand on what I believe. You want to know why I'm not? It's not because I'm some pompous asshole who think I'm always right. I'm not scared to stand on what I believe because I have no problem explaining why I believe the way I believe, and I keep my brain open to hear contrasting viewpoints. And if those contrasting viewpoints are better than the knowledge and the things that I've had, I will change my mind in lieu of new evidence. It's not about pride to me. But when it becomes about pride, why won't you just stand on what you're saying? This is how I'm answering the question. Why don't you just answer the question like you've been answering a billion fucking dumbass questions already, and you want people to answer specifically? I can point out many streams that you've been on where you said that that's not what I asked you. I can put out many streams that you've been on, and where you said this is a Black man. That's not what I said. That's not what I asked, though. So that's not what he asked. How many times can you be a fucking hypocrite in one stream?
On America, yeah, shocker.
Is it hyper focus, or do you only have fucking talking points that you memorize?
Involved any place where
Which one
Black
is
people
it?
have been displaced.
Bro, I agree.
That's the way it works.
Okay,
What are you
well, I
talking
was
about?
born.
And more importantly, before my people came to Canada, they were in the States. So, like that's what I'm saying.
But you wasn't. You wasn't. Just because your people, you're biracial, or I mean, I don't know, maybe you're trying to argue that the Black side of your family came from the United States, but you don't know the shit that your parents may have gone through, or your grandparents may have gone through. It didn't come from you. My entire fucking family, the generation above me, they all came from Florida. That's why y'all see me repping the Dolphins and shit. We're the first ones. Me, my sister, my cousins, our generation. That we born and raised in Georgia. They don't have that experience, and we're talking about neighboring states. And you from a whole nother fucking country with different laws of the land that has a total different experience than the poverty-stricken Black American communities. I also think it's crazy that. Never mind. I'll get into that later.
Like you guys, like, are you guys serious?
Wait, okay. I just want to.
I'm checking that out before I get too
clear.
triggered. Okay, Jesus
Wait,
Christ.
I was born and raised in Puerto Rico. You would consider that part of the Caribbean. I can tell you for a fact that like skin color, like or like race, or the way that you treat that is very differently in Puerto Rico than it is in the United States. So please do not tell me like that they're the same experience in both places, because I know for a fact that they're not.
So it's different. So you're saying that darker skinned Puerto Ricans are treated the same as lighter skinned Puerto Ricans?
That is not at all the question. Oh my God.
No, that is my question.
Okay.
Because if you think that that doesn't have anything to do with colonization, which has to do with slavery, which has to do with imperialism, which has to do with all of these things, because they're all interrelated, then yeah, no, that you,
and then
yeah,
capitalism,
you have to
right?
make that argument.
I first of all, I didn't say that. But second of all, what you guys consider Black in the United States is even considered Black in Puerto Rico. People don't like the way that people conceptualize.
Some of my children are biracial, and how I feel, I think it matters how you look. You're gonna get treated how you look, not how you are. I don't think that my son will be treated. I think, I'm not say would be. I'll get my words correct. What's Quincy Jones' daughter name? I think that there are benefits that Rashida Jones could get that my son could not get, or not benefit. There's certain treatment that if no one knew that both of these people were biracial, my son and Rashida Jones, she could get treated differently when she walked into a room. And hold on, I just want to show y'all, for people who don't know how Rashida Jones looks. You just can't just say just because someone's biracial how they'll get treated. This is Rashida Jones. So I think it's how you look. She could walk in the room and they're just gonna think that she's a straight up white woman, but she's biracial. So to me, I think it's more how you look than what you are.
Race is like so radically different in Puerto Rico than it is in the United States. Like the way that people are able to classify one another is basically like as gringo or not gringo, right? Like that's a major defining point. That's not to say race is non-existent in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, Rashida Jones is a dope person. I'm not saying nothing about her character. I fuck with Rashida Jones. She's cool as fuck. And she do care about issues like she's a biracial person. But to sit up here and say that Rashida Jones doesn't look like a white woman, it's crazy.
But it is definitely not treated the same way it is in the United States.
It is its own. The only difference is the way that it's defined and the way that that's the only real difference. All the underpinnings, all of the racism, it all still exists. The way that it's defined and the lens that's used to
And for the record, with Annalicia, and y'all see how she looks. She would not get treated like a white person.
To see it is different. And
what does that mean? There's racism in every fucking country.
That probably has more to do with culture, but that's fine. But at the end of the day,
I didn't even know Jessica Alba was biracial.
Was it Cuba or was it?
I think it was Canadian. Cuba. You're gonna speak on.
It was
where the fuck are we veering off to?
I think it was Cuba. Where the government actually encouraged the whitewashing of Cubans. Does anybody remember what it's called?
No.
Isn't it?
No.
No. I'm trying to think. Like it was actually legislated. It was like literally.
What does this have to do with anything, though? Like, this is how far. If you let Anna roam wild, she can just take you off. So, what does this have to do if the government of Cuba encouraged whitewashing?
Is it? I'm reading this word. I've never heard this before. But is it blanqueamiento? Yes. Okay.
Yes. So that's another example of sort of like that secular element of things that affected people who are a part of the diaspora. And like to think that the Black American experience is exclusive to Americans, it is only that's only something truly that an American could think of. To be honest,
or it would be anybody that's had a Black American experience would tell you that that's obviously true. But you don't sound like
right. But anybody who's had a Black American experience, who's traveled and met other people, would also know that that's not true.
Who's peeing?
It's fucking Lycan just got kicked and lost his perms. Good luck. What the fuck?
Wait, maybe he was pouring a drink. He's extra
why would
like that.
He's fucking. Okay, good luck, Lycan. Ask somebody back for him. Here's a question.
I don't understand what that statement means.
Here's a question, Anna. Do you think that like black immigrants in the United States, like somebody coming from Nigeria or Kenya, is going to have the same experience as an African American in the United States?
To clarify, he should have said Black American. Does he think like an immigrant African American would have the same experience as a Black American?
She's muted.
Yes or no?
She's muted.
Annalicia, come back to us.
Sorry, 1 second. What's the question?
Do you think that a black immigrant from Africa that comes to the United States is going to have the same experience as an African American descendant of slaves from the United States? Do you think they're going to have the same or similar experience in the U.S.?
It'll be similar, wouldn't be the same. That's not the argument though. Because
hold on, stop saying that's not the argument. I'm trying to figure out. Okay, my bad. Oh my god, I thought I was going to get to talk for more than 2 fucking seconds before you ramble for another 12 minutes.
Probably not.
Okay,
no.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
What happened on my channel?
Can I ask you a question? What does it mean when you say that only Black Americans would think that their experience is different than everyone else's? Like, who else is supposed to think that?
It's not just a Black American thing. It's just Americans in general feel like they're so segregated from the rest of the world.
Do you think if maybe Black Americans are telling you that their experience is different, that maybe you should hear that?
No, that's not. No. Hold on. My argument is not that it's different. My argument is that it is exclusive and that it is only.
Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you? Completely changed her argument. I heard that when first time I heard that this morning when I decided to go live, and I waited to listen to this again, and I paused the video just so we can see what she was saying before. She was saying that nothing is unique. Now she's changed it to it's not exclusive, that some of the things are unique when she just argued that nothing is unique earlier. And now she's entered the word and say that it's not exclusive. Of course it's not exclusive because there's racism across the entire fucking globe. But she changed it.
Has only affected the American people in the way that it's affected them. That's my problem is that's an American thing to say. It's like, no one is saying that. This is a special club, and Black Europeans, they have absolutely no claim to it. Canadian Black people have that's my
no claim to what? Racism in America.
Yeah, and I hate that. Damn, because it's my first time hearing it. Because no claim to what? I want to hold her accountable. Like, what claim to what? What are you talking about?
Can I ask a question here?
Racism in America.
Okay, hold on.
It's a global thing. That's what we're trying to say.
Okay, wait. I want to ask this question. Hold on.
Okay,
Fenty,
fine.
how many countries have you been to?
3. Wait, 4. Wait, let me think about it.
Okay. Here's the thing I'm going to put into words, but if people haven't traveled as much, I don't know if this is the case. Okay. This is like my general impression. Okay. That is unique to the Black experience inside the United States. Now, I haven't been everywhere, and I haven't been everywhere in the places I've been. So maybe that's not necessarily the case. Okay. But I noticed that like when I've been to London a couple times. When I go to places in other countries, okay, across Europe or New Zealand, that when I find Black people in these countries, they tend to be like pretty integrated into like the societies that they're in. They tend to be. Now, maybe like there are going to be some cities where this is somewhat of an exception, but like they feel very much like they're part of those local communities. In the United States, an interesting aspect of like African-American culture is that even if I seem like an African-American person in
Destiny, you should change your verbiage to Black Americans just to make it more detailed that you're talking about, Black people born and raised in the United States, whether African American could be coming, from Africa. For clarity, you should probably want to change that up.
In like the northeast part of the country, if I'm up in New England, or if I go to the southwest part of the country, place in LA, there is kind of like this unifying African-American culture that exists almost independently of itself, but is still like very related across all of the United States. That seems to be a relatively unique phenomenon in the US.
What? Listen, we're not saying that it's exactly the same. Of course, that racism is going to manifest itself differently in different institutions. Okay, you guys had slavery, which is very different to how racism manifests in imperialism. Okay, so yes, it's a unique experience, but racism in itself, the same sort of the virus that is bred into our institutions, is not unique. Yes,
I don't know why.
I don't think that racism is the. Yes, is. Racism is embedded into institutions, but racism doesn't come from institutions. Racism simply comes from people being afraid of what they perceive to be unlike kind. One example I always use, if you had 10 people on an island, half white, half black, their community, they're together. They feel safe around each other. They're on this island, they're growing crops. They're all the same to them. You get 10 more people coming over from a boat they don't know anything about. They're going to be afraid. They're going to be worried. They're not going to want these people to land. They're going to think of all the negative things, what could happen. Or they're going to try to kill us. They're going to try to take us over. They're going to have this instilled fear. I think that's what racism comes from, the fear just of the unknown. And when we look at how Philando Castile was murdered by that cop, that Hispanic cop, Philando Castile had no criminal record. He only had driving tickets, speeding tickets and stuff. The children at the school he worked called him Mr. Rogers. He's a very nice Black American male. He had a registered gun in his car, like any other person would have a registered gun in their car. He let the police officer know when the police officer asked him to give him his license. He went to get his license, and he was like, "Hey, I do have a registered gun." And then within a second, pop, 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 dude shot up the entire car, killed him. He's leaning over, blood coming out, bullet holes going through his seat. Going through the seat in the back with the little black girl in the car. She's about 7, 8 years old. That could have easily killed her too. That super fear inside of him was because the guy was Black. It was the unknown, a police officer. This is we pull over Black guys all the time. A lot of them do bad things. That fear inside of him, the preconceived ideas that he had about Black men, made him shoot up that car just like that. He didn't even look in the car and say, "Oh my God, you have a gun." He was told he had a gun, but it was the fear. That's where racism is bred from. And from being bred from there, we then take this and sometimes put this stuff into our society. Make laws such as you can't make a law on someone's race, but you can make it harder for people to vote. And when you make it harder for people to vote, it's going to affect the minority groups the most. So you're instilling this fear now into to government and issues. And if this is happening in the United States due to this and these laws in this way, then that is something that is unique to the Black American experience, or I say, or minority experience that's not happening in that's in other countries.
You're responding to. I'm just saying that the African American experience in the United States is a relatively unique one. That's why, like, all of the culture that was created by African Americans in the United States, like, resonates throughout the world in a unique way that it did in other countries. The African American experience in the United States and the way the history in the United States is going to be a lot different than Black people across the continent of Africa, or Black people that existed in other European countries.
I'm not saying that it's not unique. Like,
you literally are saying that it's not unique. Yeah.
Were there ever Jim Crow laws in other countries? KKK in other countries? I mean, I can go on and on about unique things that while racism is going on across the globe, that there are things that were unique to the Black American experience.
That's not what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Then we agree. Then I don't know what you're. Then we agree on everything. Then we agree. It's unique. It is. Then boom. Then we agree.
But the thing is that But the thing is that you're using that point to say that we don't have any valid. We have no validity.
I'm saying you have to be really careful when you speak.
It's to say that you aren't the authority on it, because it seems like anytime somebody questions you or challenges you guys, you're dismissive. Like Annalicia saying, "I'm not listening to you because you're white," even though she's fucking Mexican. Don't care.
Annalicia, first of all, it was nice my position is not my. I don't know how many people realize that a lot of American slaves migrated to Canada. So like again, like that's sort of it's weird to me when you try to like you try to make these like really.
What does that have to do with you? It's not that you and I are descendants of Black American slaves, both me and Annalicia, right? The slaves that migrated to Canada, their children, their lineage remained in Canada all the way to you, right? So they didn't have to go through from after they were slaves. They didn't go through the Black American experience once they moved away. There's no direct effect from the United States laws and the culture and the environment that you experienced.
Rigid differentiations when in reality most of my family came from before they got to Canada. They were in this
after your ancestor that was the slaves, they moved over and moved your people to Canada. You didn't go through Section 8, HUD, EBT, Black American ghettos. You don't have any of that experience. Black American ghettos.
States, like deep in the States. They were slaves in the States. Does that mean like so now?
Shout out to my boy Humble King in the building.
I'm not saying that I'm an authority on anything. Don't
are. When you're telling another person in the conversation that you don't want to hear from them, you are doing that.
I'm an authority. If you think that, that's your problem. I don't.
No. That's where you are putting yourself at, but you don't want to own up to it. So you want to shame another person at the fucking conversation. That's what you're doing.
I can't hear you. I didn't hear what you said. So.
And I'm saying weird to me that you think that my skin color has any relevance to these arguments whatsoever. So if I were just like a little bit more,
what is even the point of this?
When you're calling
me white, anything about your skin color?
Facts.
Yes, that's literally what.
There's another fact from the audience. Dirk Too Many. Once your slave ancestors moved to Canada, from that point on, their children always leading up to your dad or mom or whoever part of you that is Black, like. You didn't go through the Ronald Reagan. They didn't go through the Ronald Reagan crack era that had a massive effect on the Black American communities. Like the list can go on and on. If you want to have a regular conversation and be detailed about the question you asked at the beginning of what are unique things, but now you've changed your argument because you don't want to ever admit that you're wrong. I didn't say like they don't have some unique things. I'm saying it's not exclusive. What isn't exclusive?
Why
racism isn't exclusive? We know racism is around the globe. What specifically isn't exclusive?
Hold on,
wait a minute. Do you guys think that being white is it's just a skin color? It has nothing to do with facial features. It has nothing to do with phenotype. It has nothing to do with hair texture.
I think being white does not fucking matter to you unless they disagree, because you can't fucking wait to hear from Steven.
True.
But if I was having a conversation with Steven, I asked him a question.
That's sad when Destiny even say true.
I want him to answer it.
Oh, my bad. I forgot. He's the only person that can. Go ahead, Steven.
We're trying to talk to Steven.
All right, this conversation is going nowhere. Americans.
Yeah.
So, if you guys really think that unless you are from America, you can have conversations about America because it's so used to America, it's so unique to America.
This is the thing.
My thing is, why would you? that means that, I mean, you shouldn't be able to talk about Russia. You shouldn't be able to talk about
hold on.
Poland.
No, I'm just saying. Wait. I'm just saying. Hold on.
Outside of your.
Listen to what she did there. Because the Black American experience is different, you're saying that we should not be able to talk about. No one said you can't talk about anything. As a matter of fact, you're the one who brought up this shitty ass argument. She just creates shit in her own brain. Just thinking and no one said that you can't talk about racism in Russia, or racism in Africa, or racism and even in Canada. No one said that shit. You said that there's nothing unique about the Black American experience dealing with racism in the United States. And you were wrong on that viewpoint. So you're trying to throw anything against the wall to see what it stick and to get people off the fact that you were wrong. Just admit you was fucking wrong, my dude.
You're national.
No, oh my God! Stop, chill, hold on, Anna, chill. What I'm saying is that the problem. If you want to have conversations about these things in general, that's fine. But if you want to start polling like credentials for race, a white kid that's growing up in the ghetto in the United States is going to know more about the Black experience in the United States than you will. Because if
facts, white boy Steve know more about the hood than fucking Annalicia in Canada. And that's a real human being I grew up with. Lived down the street, boy. But white boy Steve, that's that, and you know what I'm saying? That's my viewpoint of when I said if you think it's a skin thing, like the way you stereotype Black Americans just because we're Black, our skin makes us act this way, instead of the constructs that are created in the United States. I said, give me your white baby. Let me put your white baby in these areas and watch your white baby act the same way. Or let me take a Black baby out the hood when they're born and give it to a fucking rich family who got the whole family environment inside of their household, who all have graduated from Yale and Harvard. Let's see how those babies turn out. They're going to turn out like the environment they're in. It's not their skin complexion or anything inside of their head that makes them dumb or different. So you look at white boy Steve, some stuff I can't say, you know what I'm saying, it's from legal, but Steve was into some heavy, you know what I'm saying, BMFisms, and people know what I'm talking about. I said BMFisms. Steve, you know what I'm saying? Steve would grow in the 90s, 2000 with the spinning rims on his car, the 96 Caprice with the TV, Steve, you know what I'm saying? The chains, the gold grills. White boy Steve know way more about that community than Anna ever would. But she's going to tell Destiny he's wrong.
If you aren't a Black person living in the United States, here, this is what I will tell you. If you ask any African American in the United States, okay, not a second generation Nigerian immigrant, if you ask an African American in the United States, what you, Annalicia, somebody that sounds like they're in middle or upper middle class or whatever, Canada, well educated, whatever, they're going to say you have no fucking idea about any part of the Black experience in the United States. That's what every single.
And Anna's going to say, yes, I do. Go on Google and print out her fucking charts and sheets and shit from data that you don't know what the fuck these people are telling you to get.
African American will tell you that. You might find some people that are like first or second generation immigrants that'll agree with you, but every single person that's grown up in places like in Baltimore or LA or like places in all of these cities that grow up in projects or that have part of like the African American experience in the United States, they're going to completely disagree with you. And they're going to tell you know about as much as a wealthy white person living in a San Francisco suburb. That's what they're going to tell you.
Yo, what's the famous white dude from Detroit? Got many documentaries made. My homeboy named White Boy Steve. They call him White Boy. I think his name White Boy Rick. Like Google, I think that's the name, White Boy Rick. One of the biggest dope dealers, youngest of all time, and in Detroit, like drug history. So like, I guarantee you, White Boy Rick, I think that's his name, knows more about that shit than Anna does.
The problem that I have, right? No, I understand. I disagree. I'll always disagree because A, you don't know my background. You don't know what area I grew up in. You don't know.
Instead of saying you don't know, you'd be more efficient and better to just say, "What is your background?" Silence makes it appear like you got something to hide, or maybe that they are correct in how you grew up. Just don't say you don't know my background. I wouldn't say you don't know where I'm from. I'm gonna tell you where I'm from to show you if I have something similar to the Black American experience. But even if you did, it wouldn't be the same as the Black American experience growing up in Canada.
Thing about my background, you're assuming that now,
yeah, white boy Rick.
I've transcended some of the poverty, some of the plight. I've transcended, of course, through education, obviously. But you're assuming that you know my history, and you're assuming that my history.
I am. I do. I will assume that. Yes, I am.
That my history wouldn't resonate with somebody in a ghetto in Baltimore, and you don't know that.
I know. I can know. Hold on. I can know part of your history because there's no way that somebody with those experiences would make statements as utterly clueless as you have. I, as a white person, know not to make a statement that fucking stupid, and you don't. So you obviously came from different areas.
White person.
You obviously came from different areas.
It's not about being stupid or smart. It's about you're white. So
no, it's about listening to It's about listening to other black people. It's about listening to other black people that didn't graduate with sociology degrees to talk about like systemic injustices for Canada. Okay. They're totally different lived experiences.
Facts.
And if you ask any African American in the United States, they'll tell you the same thing.
Facts. Even in the United States, you know how many people move down here and they move to the ghetto in Macon, Georgia, where I grew up, and they come from New York, and they are so fucking happy because if you go to the Section 8 apartments and shit in Macon, Georgia, they look just like good regular ass apartments. There's a gate that you swipe the card in, you go in, it opens, it goes in there, and it looks like, I remember the first time I saw it and they redid everything, I was like, holy fucking shit. Like, there literally is no difference between this apartment than going down to pay fucking $2,300 a month for rent on another. That they was like, because they grew up in shitty, big, tall high rises where the elevators don't work and big ass rats and shit. So even with us being Americans, the experience of being in the ghetto in New York is different than being in the ghetto in Macon, Georgia. They're like flabbergasted, like they can't fucking believe it. I can pinpoint things within America. So you're gonna sit up here and tell me that you got the same experience as someone from another country? You're just being stubborn at this point. You always make yourself look like a fucking fool, but like there's some extra fool sauce on it this time.
In pedagogy, how much do you think overlaps with American history? How much do you think?
It's people don't live their history.
No. Because if you're going to talk about my degrees, if you're going to talk about my education, you're going to talk about pedagogy. You have to know at least that there is a lot of overlap in the Canadian pedagogy with respect to American history, especially if you know what I took, which is a Black American history. So, and again,
bro, taking Black American history doesn't mean living in the projects. Oh my God. Are you serious?
I'm not gonna. All right, we can't have these conversations. Like this is not a competition.
I will ask her. Don't go in there, Sam. At this point, I will ask her, like, do you think that you taking a Canadian Black American course means the same thing as someone who grew up in the hood in America? And I would not leave that subject. I would make her answer that.
Of like, who's more Black?
This has nothing to do with whether or not you can talk about these issues.
Statistic, and you can push back, and that's fine. But you're not going to use my nationality or my academic credentials to invalidate.
This whole stream started because you did this to someone else, and you were wrong. So they can't do it, and they're right. You literally are a biracial, half Black, half white Canadian. That's what you are. You tried to use someone's nationality and you were wrong. You tried to use them and say that they're white and they're Mexican. Why can't they do it if they're right? But you attempted to do it and you were wrong. And you still don't admit it. This shit is crazy, bro.
Anything that I'm saying, that's ridiculous.
Annalicia,
you're doing it if you're doing it to other people.
The only reason it comes up is to throw it back in your face when you fucking do it to other people.
Yeah,
nobody cares.
That's the only reason it's coming up is because you're trying to invalidate other people's experiences. You're trying to.
The framework is the numbers that have been put on the table, and then you move forward and have the conversation.
That wasn't the
numbers.
Oh my God.
Then I'm gone. That's fine.
Okay, you weren't doing that. You tried to throw somebody.
She knew that when she stopped talking, that either Steve or the other person, I apologize, I forgot her name, but she knew that once she stopped talking, that they were going to come and bring her ass right back to what she did first. And why they're throwing it in her face. The purpose of them throwing it in her face is because she tried to do it to someone else. So what did she just say? I'm gone. Then I'm gone. She wants to run away now. because she can't beat this point.
But he's race in their face. Okay. If you're going to do that, then of course we're going to pull credentials.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, it's not about it wasn't about putting her race in her face.
Yes,
it was about the fact that if you think that I have no experience, or if you think that I can't identify or resonate with any of the places,
I don't know why you're so
about Karen down there.
Exactly. So you are placing yourself as an authority, an authority here over her. You don't want to have a conversation. You want to fucking lecture to people.
Shut up! No one's talking to you.
You are right the fuck now.
Stephen and Fenty.
No, you're talking to me and only me.
Like I said, whatever you want to apply to me, it's going to apply to you. It's going to apply to everybody on this panel. So contend with the numbers that I put on the table, or don't grapple with them if you can't.
Anna, I have a test for you. We're gonna give you a Black American test right now if you watch this stream. Okay. All right, let's do the Black American test right here. Coming from another biracial person. So you can't make any excuse. I'm gonna give you a Black American test from a biracial person. You ready? I want you to tell me what this word is.
To knowledge.
To knowledge. Knowledge. What do you know from knowledge? You ever been to Miami, baby? I have. Got some. You forgot one.
There's nothing in Miami but people who weren't born there and drugs.
Yeah, and they know more than you'll ever learn in your little small sheltered world. Yeah.
Really now? What? Only God knows.
Damn, this is so spot on, perfect. Even the way he's saying to set it up, because like you're not from here. I forgot. I ain't seen this scene in so long, but this is the most perfect analogy.
Got some. Yes, sir. Avez-vous un crayon? That's French. I understand. It's obvious little Miss Mary has never been off the city block.
What on earth is that? Some new language?
Read it. You know what it is?
It's nothing, you Lillian. You know it, but you won't confess it because you're such a coward.
It is something.
Anna, what is that word? What is that word, Anna? W-R-E-C-K-A. Second word, S-T-O-W. What's that word, Anna? It's all a little test for you.
Something you don't know, and you won't confess that because you're a coward.
This is silly, and you're a child.
I go to dinner without my father's permission. That says what? Now read it aloud so we can all hear how knowledgeable you are.
Wrecker stone.
You know what it is? You don't, do you?
Wrecker stone, it's nothing.
It is something. Come on, read it again. This time, say it louder.
Wrecker stone.
Louder.
Wrecker stone! Give up. What is it?
Wait. If you wanted to buy a Sam Cooke, Abby, where would you go?
The Wrecker stone.
Man, I gotta get up, man, and start my week, man. That's a perfect day to end it right there. Wrecker stone. You don't know anything about the Black American experience, Anna, and that's no problem. A lot of people don't. The problem is your stubborn ignorance and willing to be ignorant, all for the sake of you thinking that it makes you look like you're not losing an argument and making a fool of yourself when that's exactly what you're doing. All right, man. Y'all hold this down, catch it on a replay, or I may put this out on a record store later. Holla at your boy, man. Y'all have a great week.